Hi, I'm Cheri from Artbeads.com, and today I'm going to show you a really fun tool that is used for making super popular wrap bracelets. It's called the Wrapit Loom, and it holds your leather material or cording, whatever it is you're going to use, just perfectly for making the wrap bracelets. It comes with wonderful instruction. This is the loom here, and then on the back there's some great tips on how to secure the button and tying your knots. And inside gives you really wonderful step-by-step instructions, first on how to get the measurement right for your wrist size and know how much leather to use, and then step-by-step instructions on how to actually weave the bracelet with the beads. And then it also comes with everything you need to make these 4 fun bracelets. It tells you exactly how many beads to use, how much cord to cut, how much stringing material you're going to need, and a button for each of these. And then there's a little ruler down here at the bottom, which makes it really handy for getting started. So first I want to show you how easy it is to put this together. So the loom comes with this long piece. It's kind of like a rail or a track, and then 2 feet. The feet have little rubber bands wrapped around them, and that's so that it doesn't slip on a smooth surface. And then 2 ends that, one on each side or end of the rail or track, that hold your bracelet in place. And then it has this little bead feeding tray, and then a little pedestal for that tray to sit on. So to assemble the loom, you just simply put the feet one in each end. They just push in, super easy. This piece holds the knotted end of your piece, and it just slides right on that track like so. And then this piece has a little clip. There's a rubber band that's giving that tension. And it has a piece here that just slips down over this end piece, like so. And then this just slides back and forth for whatever length you need for your bracelet. So this is the little feed tray for the beads. You just pour them in this opening, and then there's a little trough, and the beads, you just give it a little tap or a shake, and the beads will just kind of ride down this little trough. And then that's where it'll hold the beads for you while you're threading your thread through. And then you can raise this if you want a little higher. This end goes in one of the slots, and then the back end sits on this back piece here. But you want to make sure that it's at an angle so that it's sloping down. You can raise it even higher by moving it up like this. I personally like it down on my work surface. I usually use something soft, and this can be a little tippy if it's not a flat, hard surface. So I like just this setup here for the little feed tray. So to get started, we're going to make this bracelet right here, and according to the directions, it gives us the number of each color of bead that we want to use, and then it tells us to use 30 inches of cord and 36 inches of wrap line, and then it comes with a button. Now you can use this as a guide for your bracelet. This is nearly actual size, but there's this nice little ruler down here that you can use, and you want to make sure that you wrap the cord or cut off enough cord that the piece is long enough for you. So you can look at this and decide, if this is going to be the right size, or you can wrap the cord around your wrist and measure and give yourself extra for knots. But we're going to go with their instructions, and the kit comes with this cord for the outside edges, and it says to cut 30 inches. So I'm going to use their little 10-inch ruler here. 10, 20, and 30 inches. And then we're going to take one end and pick up our little button. It has two openings. So we're going to feed the cord through one of the holes and then down through the other hole. And then we want our two ends to match up so that we have an even amount of cord to work with. And then we're going to slide down and center our button in that cord. Then we're going to make an overhand knot. So I like to wrap it around 2 fingers, and I'm keeping the 2 cords nice and parallel. I'm crossing it over, and then I'm kind of freeing that loop up and then pushing the cords through. I'm still holding on here to keep my cords nice and flat. And I'm going to start tying it up around my finger a little bit. And then we want to slide that down to the button and get it nice and snug, like so. Then, according to this pattern, we're going to tie a knot about this far away for this number of beads. Should be right about here. I'm going to give it a little extra. This knot can be temporary, and we can loosen or tighten it after the fact, but I'm going to start just a little loose. And so I'm going to tie my second knot right about here. And I say temporary for now. We're going to make this knot later, but it can move. So now we're ready to put it in the loom. So this little jawed section right here that has the rubber band for tension, we're going to just slip that button right behind here. You can put the knot behind there if you want to. I like the knot in front so I can see where my space is, where that first bead is going to go. Then this knot is going to go in this sliding end. I'm going to lay it down a little bit so you can see it just goes right in that groove, and then the knot sits behind there. And then you're going to slide that back. You want to make sure that your cord is nice and straight, and you're going to slide that back until it's snug, and then you're going to push this front end into one of these little openings so it just fits right in there. And you can see it's snug but not tight. You can tighten it if you want, and you can certainly move that, loosen or tighten the tension as you go. So what I love about this particular kit is it gives you a really simple way of wrapping, and no needles are involved, so this is great for kids. What you do is you've got your loom in front of you, and I like to work towards myself. Some people like to work away, so you can do it however you find it the most comfortable. And then you're going to take your wrapping cord, and they call for 36 inches. I've already measured this one out. And you're going to want to find the center, which is right about here. I'm going to lay the cord over the top, and then I'm going to pull the cords apart a little bit. And I'm going to feed one cord through the center and pull it out to its side. And I'm going to feed this cord through the center and pull it out to that side. And then again, you want to make sure that you've got the center lined up here on your loom. To demonstrate how the feed tray works, you have your 2 ends of thread, and it just holds that little bead for you, and you're just going to crisscross it through the bead and then pull the bead down. I personally just like working with the beads on my surface, so I have a little assortment here. And I've got my cord centered on the loom. I'm going to pick one bead up, slide it through the hole, and I'm going to hang on to it with my other hand. And then I'm going to pick up the other end of the cord and feed it through the hole in the opposite direction. So you can see my 2 little ends there. And it doesn't matter which side crosses over the other. You just make sure that they're crossed like that. And then you pull the cords and it just slides down and meets your cord where it started. And then I'm just going to slide that back up close to my knot. And then you repeat. That's how easy it is. So I'm putting my cord this side through, and then feeding this side through. So now it's wrapped around the leather again. Placing a bead on one side, crossing my cord through the other. So I've got my two little ends, and then sliding it down. And so for the first few beads, you're going to need to kind of push them back up against that knot. They're going to want to move, but after you get about 3 or 4 beads going, then that they start holding in place. And that's all you do until you get down to the other end. Okay, so as you can see, I'm getting down close to the end of my piece. I've just got a couple beads left to do. Again, you're just feeding that cord through each side. It gets a little tighter down here as your gap gets filled up with beads, but it's the same thing. Crisscrossing that wire or thread through the bead and then pulling it down. Then to finish it off, I'm going to feed the thread up through the cords, and then I'm going to tie a knot. So there's one, oops, two, 3. Now you can see that I still have this gap, and so what we're going to do is we're going to take it off the loom, and then we're going to loosen our knot that we made, and we're going to slide it up to up next to our beads, and then pull it snug like that. Now you may want to secure this knot with a little bit of adhesive. I'm not going to do that right now. We're just going to trim it real close. And then we're going to determine how much space we need between the next knot, making sure that the button fits through whatever opening we create. So I'm going to say right about there. So I'm going to make another overhand knot. I'm going to test it to make sure it fits through, and it certainly does. I think it's a little loose, so I'm just going to snug that up a little bit more. See if I can bring that a little closer together, like so. And then if you'd like to make this bracelet adjustable, then you just do a second knot out here, and that gives you 2 places to button up your bracelet. But if you don't want, then you just trim the cords off. And you're done. So I hope you enjoyed the instructions. Putting the Wrapit Loom together and making these bracelets is so fast and easy with this loom. I hope it encourages you to try it. Thank you.